Hello, welcome back. In this example, we're going to learn several new tags or components for writing display mathematics in DoenetML. You can find a link to this template in the description below. When you want to write precisely rendered math or engineering formulas on screen, there are several different tags you can use. Behind the scenes, Doenet is using the MathJax library to render these expressions. Display math tags accept LaTeX code as input. And so, if you're unfamiliar with LaTeX, it might be helpful to take a quick look at the resources shown below. The most common display math tag you'll use is the M tag, which renders inline display math. Here's an example. Here, we used the M tag to set off the N and the equation, and the display math occurs inside a P, which renders it in line with the rest of the paragraph. How about centered equations? To write a centered equation, use the ME component. An ME also works better for equations that span multiple levels of text, such as limits, and piecewise functions, summation notation, or matrices. The final type of display math component we'll use often is called an MD component. The MD component creates a container for rendering vertically aligned equations. Each line or row is wrapped in its own mRow component. To let Doenet know where to align each equation, include the ampersand symbol in the location the equations should align vertically. Here's an example. I'll use the MD component to create a block of centered aligned equations for defining the trig ratios. Now that we've learned several different ways to write display math, let's take a moment to differentiate these tags, the M, the ME, and the MD, from another important component that you'll use quite often, the math tag. For newer users, it can be confusing at first when to use a certain math component. The math tag, which we'll learn about soon, allows us to define expressions on which we can actually do math. Content defined as a math can be simplified, expanded, used in algebraic computations, and dynamically updated with user interactions. Math components are parsed by Doenet's computer algebra system. For this reason, you'll find yourself working with math components the most frequently. Display math tags, however, such as the three we've covered in this tutorial, are not processed by the computer algebra system in any way. That is why Doenet returns an error when we try to simplify this expression. The simplify attribute is not available to the M tag. We'll return to this important concept more in later tutorials. To recap, we've learned 3 ways to write display math that, however, is not processed by the computer algebra system. The M tag for inline math, the ME tag for centered math, and the MD and mRow tags for vertically aligned math. In our next example, we'll go over the details of how to create an account in Doenet. See you then.